Hi, this is me, your VJ Aman from the Hind Review, whom we watch every Friday at 6:30 p.m. And today we are having a very special guest because I think this film we are talking about is trending here in India when we're talking about Netflix, especially. So it's on the top 10 of the Indian trending list. Yes, I'm talking about none other than the film called Mimi, and we are having a very special guest here who is actually the story is revolving around her, and I think it's so great to have you on the show, Evelyn. We welcome you on our show, Know Your Celebrity.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
And for you, I would like to say namaste.
Namaste, namaskar.
So I was very curious to know, how did you manage speaking Hindi in that film?
This is a fantastic question that I get asked probably every other message on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I was incredibly lucky to have two coaches, one main coach, her name's Hema, and she worked with me many hours a day. I would practice sometimes, I would practice probably around 6 to 7 hours a day with her, and then I would do my own practicing after that. We did the film in 3 different sections, and the first section I only had 10 days to prepare, so it was a lot of work.
So you just learned how to speak your dialogues, or you learned actually basic Hindi?
So we did both. I mean, we did the alphabet every single day, like I was in primary school. I had literally thousands of flashcards for every single word that I was saying, understanding grammar about where the verb and just because to be able to act it, you have to be able to understand it deep inside yourself. Otherwise, it's not going to work out very well.
So how did you feel being a student back again while learning this language?
Oh boy, I mean, the first, I'm stuttering my words because I felt a great responsibility to make sure that I told this story in the best way that I possibly could. And so I'm a perfectionist and I'm hard on myself. So I wanted to make sure that I did a good job. I didn't want to sound horrible. And I also wanted to really be emotionally present. So I took it on for real. And learning is fantastic. Being a student is great. So yeah.
Right. So what made you like do this film Mimi? Was it Bollywood? Was it India? Or was it Netflix? Or was it like first ever kind of doing something in Bollywood?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. My husband is English, and I'm giving you the whole answer. Yeah. My husband is English, and I was very lucky to be able to act in the United States and do film and television episodes there. And I met my husband and I fell in love with him, and we made a decision that I was going to move to England, and there's a lot more work in the United States. And I made a decision that love was more important than my job. And 2 weeks after I moved to England, I got a call asking if I would be interested in auditioning for this film. And I read the script and I was really moved by 2 strong, incredible women, with real dreams. And so I was excited to audition, and I did. So it was mostly the story. The story is the reason why I did it.
So how did you feel working with Kriti?
Fantastic. I mean, she's a beautiful on the inside and beautiful on the outside. And she worked really hard also to make sure that she was telling this story in the most honest and truthful way that she could. And I think that's part of, you can see that in her performance. And I think that's part of the reason why this film has been touching so many hearts.
So what kind of like difference you felt when you started working here and you have already worked in TV series out there? So the casting process, if you could talk about what is the difference between the casting process at your end and here in Bollywood?
Yeah, so my wonderful Hindi coach is also an actress, and we sort of talked about that a little bit. As an actor in the United States and the United Kingdom, we have agents and we have managers, and we each submit our agents and our managers submit for us for each job. In the United States, there can be up to 5,000 people up to a job at a time. And so in this specific instance, my manager submitted me to the casting people in Bollywood and for this film. And then they accepted my resume, and I did a live video audition with Lakshman sir, which usually it's a little bit of a longer process than that. Usually you do it for the casting director, and then you'll do it for the director, and then you'll do a chemistry test, and then they decide whether or not they want you. But this was a little bit of a faster process for me.
Right. So being in Hollywood and then, being a part of Bollywood. So what next are you focusing on? Which next industry?
Oh, goodness. This is, you know what, as always in life, my focus is, and this is not a cliche, is joy. So if I'm able to tell beautiful stories, I feel incredibly lucky. That is a joy of my life. I also love being out in nature and photography. And so whatever feels good inside, that's what I'm doing.
So I will not say that it's the first time India is getting to know about you from Mimi, but because people have known you for the best of yours that was in Her. That was, I think, out in 2013, if I'm not wrong, 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people started recognizing you in India. I'm talking about, from that, and it was actually, people were happy to get you back in the Mimi as well. So we would like to know that how did this now, things have moved digital now. From theater to Netflix to Amazon Prime and all. So how do you take the world moving toward digital, focusing on digital things?
I mean, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that we can watch such incredible stories and content in the comfort of our own home, on our phone, in our car, wherever we are. I sometimes go to places like you and me. Look, we're talking 5,000 miles apart from each other. I mean, that's incredible that we can emotionally and intellectually connect. I think that also the ability to watch whatever you want, like if it's a series, that you can watch the whole series and really envelop yourself into the characters all at one time is incredible. I also think it gives creators the ability to put their stuff out there. You can make a movie on your iPhone. Your phone can do 4K now. You can edit on your phone. You can take a picture that's glorious on your phone. So this is such an amazing thing for art. I think it's really going to move it forward.
Right. Actually, I think this is something very true, that you can make movies and anything out from your phone, because phone these days are having so much technologies that at some the cameras have been eliminated to some extent. And even if we talk about the editing softwares are so easily accessible on the phones as well right now. If you go to a basic level or even not that much intermediate level, but yes, on a basic level, you can do anything you wish. Like that's actually true.
Yeah. I mean, in the United States, there's whole festivals, film festivals that do it only on your phone. Oh. So that's incredible.
That's so people,
I have a doorbell. You can tell this is live.
Yes. So I was talking about that people from India, if they wish to work in Hollywood, maybe through Netflix or through Twitter or something, so how they can proceed, how they can approach people living there, residing in India. Yeah,
number one thing, if you want to be an actor, is get in an acting class. Learn how to tell stories, learn how to be comfortable portraying emotions, be okay with the entire part of your humanity, which means be okay with being ugly, Be okay with being mean. Be okay with showing every part of humanity, because that's what actors and storytellers do. They show us who we are, what we're not, what we can be, what we can't be. Summer in this movie, some people might say, is the villain, right? Everybody in that film is doing something that shows every part of themselves, right? Bahanu wants money. Mimi wants money. Summer and John, they want their baby, and they're all trying to, to show that, right? So acting class, yes. And then be in stuff, tell stories, get in front of the camera, do stuff with your friends. If you're not being cast in things, do stuff with your friends. And then, yeah, work on your languages and work on your accents. As an actor, I've done German, I've done French, I've done Russian, I've done Hindi, I've done Southern American, I've done, all sorts of stuff. So the more we say feathers, more feathers you can put in your hat, the more skills you have, the better of an actor you're going to be. And the final thing is live. You can't tell stories if you haven't lived. If you think that you're, going to run out, get a headshot, and go be the most famous person on the planet Earth, can that happen? Absolutely. But I don't know how deep your storytelling ability will be. So go live, go experience joy, go experience pain, understand other people.
Right, that is actually very true. So what was the first role of your life you did on camera?
Oh goodness, so my father actually was an executive producer, and I did my very first commercial when I was 6 months old. Oh. So I've been doing stuff on camera for a long time, but my first real role on film and television is I was in the show Mad Men, which was a very amazing show set in the 1950s, 60s, 70s. That was my first film and television, my first television role.
So what character you played in that?
I was a secretary. I was a secretary in, so if you know the show Mad Men, it was set in a advertising agency, and there were a whole bunch of secretaries in the advertising agency, and I was one of those. Yeah. That
is something I think common between us. That my even first character role was a secretary only on a TV show.
There you go. So there you go. Right. I mean, there are a little stereotypical roles when you start your career, and secretary is definitely one of them.
Yes, definitely it is. So, whenever I get some character role to audition for or something, so I always, go back and check the biography of my favorite actors or actors. So this person also did this kind of role in some other. Okay, so, it's like a motivation, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
There are no small roles. And again, like I said, do stuff, because that, even though I was the tiniest role ever, I was allowed to be on the set for the whole season, but I learned what it was like to be on a set and to be with really, really successful actors. The people in Mad Men are some of the most famous actors in the world now. So.
Right. So what are the shift timings in Hollywood? Is it similar like Bollywood, that we are working for so many hours, and similar is it over there as well?
So you guys definitely work longer and harder than we do. You guys do longer hours for sure. For sure, you guys do. And also it depends, it's a little different on a television series versus a film, right? Because a film has a very set, specific amount of time that they'll work, and it'll be like, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever that is. And television in the United States, that's 5 days a week, right? You do an episode generally, depending on the show, for 5 days. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but it's Monday through Friday. You don't work on the weekends. Not the case with you guys.
7 days.
So that's, yeah, you guys work hard. Yeah, you guys work hard.
No, and we actually feel that wish we could get some holidays. Holidays seems to be a blessing there, actually. It seems so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, actually. So to all the teenagers, all the youngsters who want to be an actor, you already told, go to an acting school
Go
and
to
look
school.
out there. Yes. So do you think that there should always be a plan B in the plate that, okay, if not an actor, then something else you can be?
Oh, I love this because I teach and have in my life taught a lot of teenagers, and my first career was as an opera singer, and I did not have a plan B. And I'll tell you why I didn't have a plan B. It's because I believed in myself and my talent completely. And I know that there are a lot of parents, especially if you have parents that don't know what it's like to be an artist.
Yeah.
My parents were artists. So I grew up knowing that it was possible. You may grow up in a family or be in a position where your parents don't support you, or your friends think you're crazy, or you don't have a direct know how to do it and in a direct path. You have to believe in your dreams. And the thing is that you don't know how long it's going to take. We have no control over that. We don't know how long the path will take us. I think Pankaj sir is an amazing example of this. He tells his story all the time about how he was waiting to get, how long he was waiting to get a job. He even told us that on the set, because he was telling us how many weeks a year he works. And we're like, ooh, Pankaj sir, you need to not work that much. And he says, I waited too long and it's too important for me. So you don't know how long it's going to take. If somebody had told me that I would be doing this gorgeous movie that's #1 in so many countries, #8 in the whole world, I would not have guessed that. And I would not have been able to tell you when in my life, when in my timeline that would have been able to happen. So plan B is live. Plan A is believe in yourself. Plan B is live. So why I brought up that I was an opera singer is I never thought that career would end, ever, 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 ever. And then a new path emerged for me, but I didn't plan for a new path before that. I'm of the mind that you have to commit completely and go towards it.
So if someday, so your biography is going to be made up, so who do you want to play your character in your biopic movie?
Oh boy, good question. Oh gosh. Gee, I mean, Kate Winslet, Gillian Anderson, Kate Blanchett. I mean, if we're getting people to play me, let's get the big dogs to do it.
A person's biography that you want to play as an actor.
Oh, great. What's interesting? This may not resonate with Indian audiences, but Mary Queen of Scots, the Queen of Scotland. I find her story absolutely incredible. At the end of her life, she was imprisoned, and she was imprisoned for 19 years. And I would love to play her when she's older and she ends up getting executed. She gets her head chopped off. And I would love to be able to tell that part of Mary Queen of Scots' story. I think she's an incredible woman.
Right. So what was the most challenging role, the character you have ever played in any series or films?
This, hands down, 7 trillion%. This, for a lot of reasons. #1, the language aspect of it. And then also, it's not a good time for summer in this film. It's not a good time for Mimi either. But you may notice that I'm fairly emotional for most of the film. There's a lot of things that the writers gave me that when you read the script, there are certain lines you read and they tell the story of the character. And there's some pretty deep stuff in there for summer. And I wanted to make sure that, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, push pause, go watch the movie, come back to this interview. But when I find out that Mimi's pregnancy is worked, that means for Summer that is her dream, that she has completely gotten to have the thing that she's always wanted her whole life. And in that moment, I wanted to make sure I was telling the truth. And when I see my child for my child for the first time, you know, I wanted to make sure that I told the truth. When I find out that the child, there's something wrong with the child, I wanted to make sure that I told the truth. And then when at the end, spoiler alert, you know, at the end, I wanted to make sure that I told the truth. And those are very deep life circumstances for these people. So yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time like doing tourist things or hanging out with the rest of the cast. I was very, very focused in learning the Hindi and making sure that I was telling the story.
So how much time you spent in India for the film?
So I came 3 different times, and it was 2 weeks or 10 days at a time. And then the whole film ended up filming over a year, but then we did a little bit at the end a year later.
Yeah.
So this whole process has been 2 years, 2.5 years.
Oh, so making of the film was actually a 2 years process, meaning?
Well, the actual filming was a year because we took a break in the middle for Kriti to gain the weight that she needed to gain, also for me to learn how to speak Hindi better. Hey, and yeah, and then we came back, and then COVID happened, and then there was a little tiny bit left that we needed to finish. So it was a long
weight in real.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought that it was all makeup and everything that has been shown that she has gained weight.
Oh, she has gained weight. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. No, she gained weight. There's no makeup.
Oh, that's actually another tough aspect of an actor, I suppose. You know, gaining weight, reducing it back.
Yeah. She did.
I think it's a big hats off to her as well for gaining weight and reducing, because all the time I'm focusing on reducing my weight. So I know how important it is to maintain your weight being an actor and to be in the industry as well. So there is one myth I think going on in mind of some teenagers, just because might be their friends, their family influence them telling that suppose someone's height is not tall, or someone is very tall, or someone is not slim, someone is very fat, or another aspect. So they say that you will not fetch a character, but I think it's important for you to tell them that every type of character has a place.
Oh boy, this is something that's really important to me. I just want to make sure that everybody knows you are not on this planet Earth for people to be attracted to you. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, what color your hair is, what color your eyes are, what your dialect is, where you come from, what your gender is. It doesn't matter. There is a story for everyone. Like I said, you don't know when you're going to be able to tell that story, but let's just look at our film, for instance. There's a very small role of an old woman who's the first person that is asked if she can be my surrogate. How old is that woman? 60s? You know what I mean? So there's no, don't, that should not enter into your brain at all whatsoever. What should enter into your brain is that you believe in telling stories and that there is a story for you. And also, guess what? You may be the person that changes the industry, and you may be the person that tells a story that changes the world. So go do it.
That's what even I personally believe in. What you said that, last line. So I think I keep myself motivated thinking about this and hearing these kind of lines. So I'm going to watch this video very often when I need to get back motivated again, I think. So before ending this session, something you would like to say to all the Indian fans watching you?
Oh, gosh. I just am so honored. I'm so honored that you let me into your home, that you let me into your lives, that you have been so receptive of me taking on your language and letting me tell a story in your art form. Like that's just such a gift, you know, that's such a gift. And for everybody that always asks this, this is for you guys. You know, मैंने तुम्हें राज के साथ देखकर क्या realize, okay? That parents बनने के लिए बच्चा पैदा करना जरूरी नहीं है, और parents बनने के लिए बच्चा तुम्हारा होना भी जरूरी नहीं है. Thank you so much for having me.
I got goosebumps.
Oh, bless you.
Yes, I definitely did. So before leaving, I would like to know that you have done so many films, TV serials, Mimi, and all the super hit blockbuster things you have done. And today, for the first time, getting interviewed by a video jockey, how was your experience?
You are also the first female that's interviewed me, and I'm so grateful. And that's part of the reason why I was so excited to be here doing this with you. And you're awesome. And I'm so proud of you and excited for what you're going to do, because you are also changing the world. I've went and gone and looked you up and watched what you're doing and helping women, and you're awesome. So thank you for talking to me. I'm honored.
Thank you so much for being on our show, KYC. You know, you're a celebrity, and we hope you stay safe. And we are waiting for you to see another blockbuster in the Bollywood and as well as Hollywood industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friend.
Bye.